Okay, folks. So these are the slides on project systems, and essentially, what we will be covering here is the concept of project systems. Now, you will notice here that the textbook does not have a chapter, or as a matter of fact, any content related to project systems or project management. Okay, so what I've done is I have taken some material from a resource that I have access to and put these slides together for you to get a basic understanding of what project management is, and so that you get a better sense of what you're going to be doing when you're doing a SAP hands-on assignment on project management using SAP. So project management per se is basically, it involves three basic concepts while managing a project. How would you manage time? How would you manage scheduling? How would you manage budget? And how would you manage resources? Okay, let me take that back. Three main things: schedule slash time, or scheduling or time, budgeting or costs, and managing resources or resource allocation. So these are the three things, the basic three fundamentals of project management. So whenever you are given a project to work with, these are the three things that you have to take care of. And there are a lot of tools, there are a lot of technology tools that allow you to monitor these three basic aspects of projects, which is time, money, and resource. Okay. Now, SAP has a module that allows you to do project management. So why are you concerned about project management at all? Well, within a company, or for a company, in specifically GBI, they could be internal projects, or they could be a project for a client. For example, an engineering department within a company within the GBI could be building a machine for a client, or for an internal project. Let's say the human resource wants to track down their best sales management agents, and they need to develop a software. So that's a project. It's an internal project. So projects could be of different nature. They could be external. They could be internal. But in order to manage a project, you need tools, and SAP does have a tool. There's a component or module in SAP that allows you to do project management. So let's look at the concepts here. So here, most of the slides will be relevant to the company GBI. So when we talk about project management, it will be contextualized in for GBI, the company GBI. Okay. So this is a chapter overview. So organizational structure needs to be defined in the beginning of execution of a project. So whenever you're taking a project, you need to define your org structure. Okay. Within a project, first, one of the things that you have to do or create is a work breakdown structure. So a work breakdown structure is basically all the tasks that are involved within a project. And this work breakdown structures have hierarchy. So first you list all the major tasks, and within that you list the second level tasks. So let's say that you're building a machine. So the major task is to basically first is to basic design of the machine. Then the second major task is to come up, assemble the components, and the third major task is to make the machine operational. So these are the three major tasks, and within that there are subtasks. So a work breakdown structure is the first thing that you do to outline all the tasks. So that's what this is talking about. Then you also have to figure out the sequence of events. Okay, so are you going to, let's say there are 10 tasks. Okay, are you going to do number one? What sequence are you going to do the task? Okay, that's sequencing. Then milestones. So within a project you have milestones. Okay, so for example, when you're building a machine, so one of the major milestones is when you have completed working out the design for the machine. That's a milestone. Of course, once you build the machine completely and make it operational, that's the ultimate milestones. But before reaching that ultimate milestone or the ultimate goal, you have certain milestones, and then you have work data. characteristics of the project. They could be complex, they could be unique, they could be high risk, they are goal oriented, they have to meet quality standards. Project types could be customer projects, you could be doing for client, you could be overhead projects to control the costs within a department, it could be investment projects. A company like GBI wants to invest in tracking overheads, okay, or tracking the best performing sales people, okay. So it could be different projects, could be internal, external, as I said. Projects are complex tasks, as you know that. Project Builder within SAP allows you to basically put in all the specifics of the project. You know, you put in all the data entry. This is the data entry phase where you put in the specifics of the project, the requirements, etc. Then you, in that project building phase, you outline the work breakdown structure. As I said, that WBS or work breakdown structure is outlining all the major tasks. Within that, you have the subtasks, and within subtasks, it could be subtasks. So, you know, work breakdown structure allows you to give you a comprehensive outlook of all the tasks that are involved within a project. Then you have, this is a work breakdown structure where you are doing a hierarchy where you have the main task and then you have the subtask, okay? In SAP, the work breakdown structure, you can basically feed in to SAP the work breakdown structure. Then what you're doing is, once you have outline the work breakdown structure, now you have to figure out the sequence of the events, or the sequence of the activities, or the sequence of the tasks, okay? Then the relationship within this task, okay? So what I mean by that is, if you have task A, B, C, D, is A directly related to B, or is A related to B and C, or A is related to A, B, C, and D? So that means that before you complete tasks A, B, or C, or D, will not be able to, you won't be able to go ahead with B, C, or D. So these are relationships that you outline once you have created the sequence, okay? Then you build milestones, and all this is like I said, SAP module of project management or project systems allows you to do that. Then you put in the work data, that is, what is your activity type? Okay, what type of activity are you going to do? Are you going to design? Are you going to assemble? Are you going to build? Then what is the actual work? What is the numbers associated with this? Okay, what percentage of tasks? Then you have, so basically work data is basically everything related to the work. You know, what type of work, how much time, what percentage of work, etc., etc. Then you have the services, and then finally, you know, you have to, what you're doing here is you essentially, you're planning for the project, and then you have to finally execute the project, okay? So this is, again, you're doing the project planning, then the project execution. This is a part of the execution. You have to involve costs, and then of course, when we're talking about SAP, you have to have a system or information system or technology to evaluate your performance. So once you finish the project, were you on time? Were you within the budget? Did you utilize all your resources efficiency? So all these you can analyze in SAP, the SAP module of project management, and you can, you know, create reports, which allows you to understand how efficient you have been when you were doing project management using SAP. So this is basically the concept behind the project management. Now, as I said, if you look at the textbook, there is no content related to project management. So what I've done is, these set of 25 slides, I have I've gotten it from a resource that I have access to, and I hope that these slides and the explanations that go along with the slide will give you a basic understanding of what project management is. As long as you know project management, you have to keep a track of time, okay? That is time or schedule. You have to keep a time of costs that involves budgeting, and then manage resources. So these are the three most important things in project management. With that said, think that is a brief, that's a decent introduction to project management. And one of the things that you have to do is, before you start the hands-on on project management, project systems, you may have to make sure that you read these slides and understand the concepts. That's it. Good luck.